Hi guys, this is Christopher here again with Sales Beats Wednesday. Today I'll be giving you 3 tips on needs analysis. How do you find out the needs of your prospect or your customer in a sales conversation? When you understand their needs, when you then get into the present stage of the sales conversation, you're able to present your solution specifically based on the customer's need. So let's get into it. Number 1 is the fact that you do not want to present your product or service until you have done your need analysis. Please avoid it. I've seen salespeople go into sales calls and just go ahead and present their product or their service. You do not want to do this, because at that point you're just shooting in blanks. You are hoping that something sticks. But if you go ahead and do a proper needs analysis, you would then understand the customer's need and you can present your product or service based on those needs. So imagine you walked into a doctor's office and the doctor just goes ahead and prescribes a drug for you without even having any conversation with you. At that point in time, you might be thinking that there's something wrong with this doctor, right? And every good doctor knows that they have to first ask you questions, that is, diagnose you, before they can then prescribe a drug or whatever medication you need to take to get better, as it were. So this is also how it is in the sales conversation. So that's the first tip. Make sure at every of your sales conversation that you do the need analysis, where you ask prospects lots of questions to understand their needs and their situations at that moment. Moving on to tip number 2. Know when to use open-ended or close-ended questions. This means that in a sales conversation, you do not only want to use open-ended questions, but close-ended questions are also very important. But the thing you need to know more than knowing open-ended questions and close-ended questions is when to use it in that sales conversation. So you use an open-ended question when you want to get the customer to talk more about their situation. So you could ask a question like, what are the challenges you're facing in this particular area at the moment? That will get the customer talking about that situation or that problem. You also want to ask close-ended questions to get specific answers from your prospect at any point in time. So you need to know when to use this too. Moving on to our final tip number 3. You do not want to ask questions randomly. You need to avoid this. Just like a doctor will ask a logical sequence of questions to actually find out what the symptoms are when you go visiting, this is how you also, as a salesperson, want to strategically ask questions in a sequence that will help you get to the actual goal or objective that you had in mind for that conversation. So your goal or your motive for that particular conversation could be the next step of probably meeting with the prospect's management team, or an opportunity for you to come and have a proof of concept for the organization. Whatever that goal is, you want to strategically ask questions that lead you there. So you want to ask questions from general to then the specific. Understanding and knowing the prospect's needs helps you to provide a perfect solution to their problem. If you do not understand their need, then the solution you will be providing or the solution you'll be proposing might not be the perfect answer to their problem. So you, at this stage of the sales process, you really want to get down into it and ask a lot of intelligent questions to get your prospects talking. So guys, these are my 3 tips. Please leave a comment below. Tell me what other tips you think are very helpful in terms of need analysis in the sales conversation, and I'll see you next week.